Hey guys, it's me Chandrik, and today I want to do the kind of comparison between Sucrose and Kazuha. Sucrose will be C6, although I don't have C6, but I can do some kind of additional note and some calculation because it's only have couple differences, so it doesn't matter. I can cover it. So in here I will compare between C6 Sucrose and Kazuha in terms of the skills, the variety of roles, and the elemental mastery as a support, both of them. And then there's one additional notes that I will show you later in the video. So yeah, let's get started then. Yeah, before I start, take note that this is have some my personal opinion, so it might be biased for some point because it's very hard to compare something that cannot be calculated. So yeah, and I want to say that I make this video, it's not like to say like who is stronger and stuff, but I just want to help for some of you that interest to pull Kazuha and kind of still confused, and especially kind of free to play or kind of very like want to save the Primogen and stuff. So I don't want like the kind of people later pull and feel like kind of disappointed with the what he get from Kazuha. So this is what I will give like what the expectation if you have Kazuha, and then what uh you will get the benefit compared to sucrose though if you already have sucrose C6. So it's just like I want to kind of help in this stuff. So let's start with the artifacts. So the artifact I will use is same with the sucrose. So this is the house rule. Same with the sucrose, I will not change. And then the elemental rest are 600. Later sucrose will have around the same, maybe a little bit more. And you can just see the stats. And then take notes, I use Festering Desire. It doesn't really have benefits with the skills, like with the Elemental Mastery skill and stuff. So you have to take note that. So let's move on. So for the skill, let's start with Chihaya Buru, the one that I really like it. The the cooldown is actually very fast, only 9 seconds if you hold and 6 seconds. And the energy recharge cost is around 60. So let's compare to the sucrose. Now move to the sucrose. I use equip same, the ones all 16 also, and then the elemental is around same 681. It's Kazuha is a little bit lesser, but take notes, I use Mapamare and it has like more benefit in the elemental reaction, because if I do two stacks and it will be 16% more. So in here actually sucrose will have more benefit in terms of elemental reaction and elemental mastery stuff. So yeah, it will be kind of have more value than Kazuha. But take note also my constellation is also 3, but later I will explain in the when the condition of C6, so no problem at all. So now we move to the skill. The skill 15 seconds, very long, but if you have I think C2, you can gather around 2, right? But it's still very long, right? 50 seconds, Kazuha still win. So although sucrose have like 2 slots, like can save around 2, but Kazuha's only 9 seconds, still very fast. Whatever it is, Kazuha still very fast. Kazuha win that. And then energy cost, it's 80. Absolutely, Kazuha's only 60. Kazuha win. So in terms of skill recharge and like cooldown, Kazuha is win. In terms of crowd control, Kazuha crowd control is in the elemental skill, which is pretty fast. However, also the suction also very short range. While sucrose crowd control of the suction is not in the elemental skill. In fact, the elemental skill also kinda spread them, I have to say, for some reason. And so the crowd control one is in the elemental burst, which is it's very long range, also kind of very long range. Don't compare to Fenty. Fenty is still very long. It's very long range. However, you need energy cost, which is kind of need some time also to build, right? So in short, Kazuha and Sucrose, I have to say same, because Kazuha is fast, however short range. Sucrose is longer, but it's kind of heavier in terms of cooldown, or which is not the cooldown, which is the energy cost that make me kind of longer though to achieve. In terms of role, Kazuha is very versatile. He can be like almost everything, like full elemental mastery support, like sub DPS and main DPS. In fact, I really like to use like the animo damage bonus pool of elemental mastery, so he kinda like become like DPS and half of the support. So I think this is the very strong point from Kazuha compared to Sucrose. Sucrose mostly people only use for full elemental mastery support, so this is totally a absolute win for Kazuha. So this is kind of additional benefit that Sucrose doesn't have, which is like in explosion you can fly, so that's actually pretty convenient, really help you. And even like this one you can even do in the mid-air. So let's say while you still can like kind of double jump things if you know in the other game, so it's pretty beneficial, which is Sucrose don't have. In terms of obtainability, Kazuha Z0 need around 180 pull to be guaranteed, while Sucrose is a little bit tricky. It can be more, it can be less than that. So, in my best on experience, I can max out 4-star constellations around like 150 and above pulls averagely. So in terms of Sucrose, I do 75 pull only get C3, so maybe another 75 and above will become C6. So if I have to say, both of them is kinda draw, because nothing that kinda easier. Yes, to get Z1 Sucrose or Z0 Sucrose is easier, but to get C6 Sucrose, it's also the business of luck though. Now move to the elemental skill damage. So in this one, I'm not comparing about the support or stuff. This one more to the damage first. For the damage, I have to say you can see from the left to the right. Kazuha win. This comparison is same. Both of them in the level 7. So you how about you say how about I use crown for Sucrose, and so left on 15, right? After that, when you max constellation 6, I think Kazuha still win because Chihayaburu is too offensive style of elemental skill. So even already level 15, Chihayaburu will win, and even the cooldown is very fast. That's already also make a big loss for Sucrose elemental skill. Moving to the elemental burst. So this one is pretty interesting. For this one, there's a couple cases. If it's both of them in the level 10, I will say Kazuha still win. However, if you kinda crowd, I think Sucrose can potentially exceeding, because as is in this we already compared, this is just like level 6 and Kazuha already level 8. The damage is not much that different. So level 10 probably Kazuha still more a little bit, but when Sucrose like hit 15, I think it should be more than that. However, it depends all on the situation, because sometimes sword is very depends also in situation. So it's very hard to generalize. That's why I say potentially win. Now move to the I think that most people want to see, which is the full elemental mastery, the comparison. So in here for Kazuha, as you can see, Ganyu do the charge shot around 17,000, and then later when I use unleash the true potential buff with all the team that I can do, it's become 52k, which is not bad as for Kazuha. So I unleash everything in here. So now move to the Sucrose. So here, as you can see, when I do just a charge shot, it's become 13k, which is not bad from Sucrose. And then later, after that, when I unleash everything, I do the true potential using the elemental burst, the buff from Bennett, and everything. It become like there's a 40 something k, and like there's a 30 something also k like that, which is not bad, and that's only C3. So imagine if C6, I'll have to say it's pretty competitive for both of them. So later I will show in the screenshot so you can see clearly the comparison. So this is the comparison screenshot between side by side between Kazuha and Sucrose. Of course, in here Kazuha still perform better. However, take note, my Sucrose is C3. So imagine if it's C6, and then it's also get another 20% elemental damage for other party that it absorb. So it actually get buff again. And you also think the case also do in terms of weapon. I already checked in terms of weapon for free to play. I have to say in here, the option is more in term in Catalyst. I will say, like couple of them like Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers, even 3 stars very good. Can give like if you switch, you can get 20% attack. Then there's couple that Catalyst that kinda benefit more to the other team compared to the Sword one for a free to play, even though it provides elemental mastery, not so much weapon that support the other team, mostly like it just support for the character itself that you currently use. So in here, in terms of benefit, Sucrose get more benefit in terms of the flexibility in equipment and stuff like that. So I have to say Sucrose can perform better as a support full elemental mastery in certain conditions. So I have to say both of them is pretty competitive, but in like circumstances or environment, Sucrose can become better than Kazuha as a full elemental mastery. Overall, Kazuha of course win because some of the benefits from lesser energy recharge, lesser cooldown, and ability to fly, of course. However, if you pay attention in here, the selling point on Kazuha is actually it's not only buffer, but his role that can become anything, his reliability that is the selling point. He can like kind of like a blank card that can become anything. It's kind of like it can cover the hole in your team, except maybe healing and shield. Other than that, he can like damage hard, like hit hard, can buff your team. So his flexibility that the selling point, while Sucrose in here, Sucrose also built very different. She built for 100% to build the team. That's why in here the character of Sucrose can outperform the Kazuha in certain circumstances because that's the true identity of her compared Kazuha that can like become anything reliability. So in here they're both of them very unique though. So if you decide to pull Kazuha, it doesn't matter if you already have Sucrose C6 because Kazuha can become other roles then and can become like other part, and while Sucrose can still buff or even like both of them become buffer, but in the different team like in the spiral abyss, so it's still reliable though. So only one notes that why you should avoid to pull Kazuha if you want a better buffer elemental mastery than Sucrose though. If you need that, you expect, oh, it will buff more than that, then that take note, avoid that. Other than that, you very pleased to pull Kazuha. So thank you so much for watching though. I hope this video helped, and I will see you in the next video though. Bye, and consider to hit subscribe button and like. I forgot. Bye.